Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. Sorry I haven't made a lot of videos recently. I've been just absolutely absorbed and loving Monster Hunter Stories 2. As you can tell from my armor, which is Bloodbath Diablos, one of my favorite monsters of all time. In fact, it is my favorite monster of Monster Hunter so far. I've put in over 100 hours and I have just been enjoying it, and that between work and family, I just haven't had time to do guides. However, I do want to do a few videos that help you out with some of the system mechanics. Being an RPG, I think the sense of discovery is really important, at least for players like me. I like being able to look for something, not know the answer. Otherwise, I feel like I'm just, knocking things off of an Excel checklist or something. And that sense of discovery is just great in RPGs when you try to look for something, but you find something else. I found it really fun, so I didn't use any guides going through. That being said, there are a few features that are super helpful that I think is worth sharing with you guys as you go through the game. And if you haven't gotten the game yet, go download the demo and try it. This game is amazing. Anyways, what I want to talk about today is the quest board and marking targets, because this was a little unclear to me for most of my initial playthrough, so to say. So although it's a subquest, which makes you think like you do it once and then it's over, this is just like a quest board in regular Monster Hunter. So although it marks it as complete so you know which you've done before and which you haven't, which is important because some of these can unlock stuff like recipes or new skills for, weapon class, like being able to guard with the greatsword and stuff like that. These are just regular quests and you can take them on as many times as you want. So for example, we have this one here, the Alluring Mantid. Usually when it says hard, it just means that it's hard and it's got a lot of HP, so you probably need to be pretty good leveled or very patient with these hunts. Other ones where they just give you the name of the monster, those are great. You can just use it as, instead of going to the map and looking for the monster and hoping that it spawned, you can just go ahead and take this quest and it will guarantee that it will spawn, which is great. And it always tells you below in the caravan stand of which region you can find the monster. When it says co-op call, this is not a co-op quest. This just means that a fellow hunter is asking for your help. So let's go ahead and select a bunch of them here. For the same region, the Loloska Rocky Canyon. So we're going to do the co-op call again. We're going to do the Baroth again. And we will do the Alluring Mantid. Now, the thing that I always like to do here, now that I know how this works, is to set the objective by pressing Y. When you set the objective, this is what is shown at the upper right-hand part of the screen. It reminds me what I'm doing. If, for example, it's a fetch quest, it'll tell you where you need to go back to find the NPC that gave it to you, so you can report in. So it's very nice if you're lost to go ahead and mark that quest. There's another reason why that's good, and I'll show you here. When you go over and you press X and you go to quest info, it'll default immediately to your objective, which is awesome, so you're not fumbling around your list of quests trying to find it, which is great. And from here you can just press X and you can go directly to the stand that you need to be at. So press X, we'll zip on over, and we'll wait for a nice little loading. We should have some mini games where you press A and there's little paw prints or something like that. And here we are now in the Rocky Canyon. If we open up our map, we'll notice that it is very kindly marked where the objective is for this monster. And it will do that for any of these types of quests that have like the, or where there's a very specific subden you need to go in, or a very specific monster. It'll mark it on there, which is fantastic. If it doesn't mark it on there, for example, if I go to quest info and I go down to this Baroth one and I set that as the objective, if we notice there's no marker, that doesn't mean that there's nothing in the area. It just means that there's a possibility that there could be more than one Baroth in this area. The fact that we have the quest active means that that monster will generally spawn, which is fantastic. So you don't want to just like take the quest and then be looking all over for it. So what I like to do is I bring in like a cephadrome, which will scan the area for monster search. Or you can just run around. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. Press B and then we open up our map and we'll be able to see the names of the monsters. We got a Barioth, Khonshu. Okay, so there's one Baroth. And if you notice down here, Kechawacha, Punahabras. What's in the middle there? Kechawacha, Kongalala, Tobi Kadachi, Gypsyros. So we only have one Baroth. We know where it is, which is great. Again, the reason why they're not marking it is because there's a possibility there could be more than one Baroth in this map when you go in here. So let's go ahead and also check out the other quest, which was the co-op against the Tobi Kadachi. This is another one where, because it's not like the or whatever, it's not going to mark it on the map, because there could be more than one Tobi Kadachi that spawns, and any of them would be okay. But we know, because we looked at our map, that it's right there. So let's go ahead and go back to our call, and we will mark this one. Let's just go ahead quickly and dispatch of these monsters. Then we can go in here and turn in our quests now that we've completed them and get the rewards all over again. Yay! However, you're not really doing these for the rewards. What I think you're going to be doing these for early as you progress to the game is to simply have access to a monster. For example, one of the best examples I have of this is Legiana. So when you get to this part of the game, you just don't find Legianas anywhere. But you do get a very specific quest from an NPC to go fight one. The cool thing is that this is a guaranteed spawn. So as long as we accept this quest, it will always spawn, which will give us a way that we can farm the monster for parts, so we can make everything. And I believe we can also paintball it and attempt to get it to flee, which means that we can get it as a pet monstie. Well, it's not a pet, it's more of a partner, but you get the idea. So let's go ahead and set the objective here. Request info, X, boom. Again, you see how fast that is once you get used to setting the objective marker? It's so good. And now a Legiana will spawn guaranteed a little bit forward here from the Logombi. So let's go ahead and zip forward. I'm fire! There we go. Yeah, Yuna was surprised that I had on a full Legiana set at this point. She's like, where'd you even find the monster? How'd you get it to appear? I'm like, just keep redoing the quest and you'll be fine. Of course, it's kind of annoying that we have to do hot drinks and cold drinks in this game, because they just removed them from the mainline series, but whatever. Just make sure that you don't forget. Okay, let's paintball this sucker. There are other conditions that if you can complete them, for this one it's like really specific. You have to flashbang it out of the air and then hit it with a thunder element weapon. But that pretty much will add up and give you almost a guaranteed retreat. But you can just paintball like I did, and it will give you like a 40% chance, I think it is. 60 here. See what happens. No, and it retreats. See? So this is another way that you can get a pet, a monstie Legiana early in the game. Sometimes the RNG just isn't on your side, when you're picking eggs. So I love that the game has given us a way out of that, where we can guarantee ourselves an egg. So that's what the Legiana egg looks like. It's very pretty. If you notice, we can go ahead and pick up a bunch here until we get something good. Even though Naviro is trying to warn us. It's awake! And we can go ahead and fight it again if we want to get some more parts. So yeah, it's a good way to get eggs and also farm it for parts. Anyways, I hope this guide helps you understand just how to do the quest marking. Also the sort of quick shortcut with the opening of X and going into quest info and then pressing X to just jump to the stand. It's super convenient, makes the game much more enjoyable. And again, I think they could do a little bit better job of naming some of these scenes, because when it says Subquest, you don't think of it as a quest that you can just post. The same goes with co-op quest, but that is a topic for another video. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy riding.